Good day, this is Dream DT again, and after some reviews on the forum, I decided to make a review on some of the tanks in this game, what my opinion is about it, and whether they fit the best. Yes, biggest question is, what tank is the best? Honestly, there is no such thing. And again, just to make sure everybody understands, this is my point of view of this. There are other guys streaming on YouTube that also got their opinions, but they are very high-end players. So let's start off with the one I stopped leveling, the Barbarian, aka Gothrak. Currently I don't use him as a tank, but this is my experience in him. He is a good hero if you have some kind of magical setup and you want people to literally just focus on him. Basically, for his main ability, Taunt. Yes, he provokes a target, dealing damage to all enemies in an area. Damage enemies attack, they go to him basically. His other abilities are also just damage increase and slams axe. That's the most popular one, and this is basically increase his strength. His battle skills, go away. Deals damage, of course, cavalry boost, imperial defense, and cavalry attack boost. It has its uses, but honestly, no. I have a setup that I use him in, but again, he's only a support tank there. Now, the next one is, of course, the Oathkeeper. This is the one you get at the very beginning. He's really an early game tank. You don't want to really focus on him too much, the same way I did. Come on, only put him up to rank 6, and I don't think I'm going to take him up higher, to be honest. I might, just for his skills here to get the infantry boost, but that's about it. The rest of the time I don't really want to use him. The only reason why he's good early game is because of this shield. His shockwave is also okay-ish, but it only stuns for 1 second and only for enemies in front of him. So early game, that's it. The next one is what I call your early and mid-game tank, the Soul Forger. He is very good if you're just starting off in the Colosseum. VNNCZ3, if you're watching this, for your free-to-play series, I would recommend getting him. You would love him more in the Colosseum than your current setup, to be honest. His wall smash is absolutely deadly. It doesn't do that much damage, but it's per swing. So how many times does he swirl in the round? It's literally a couple of times. So every time he swings past and everything he hits per swing is 758 damage. And he hits quite a number of times, to be honest. This is where he jumps and he just hits everything in a straight line in front of him. And this is a slam target, which also just swings everything. This also increases the defense of himself, which is very nice for a tank. Colosseum wise, I would highly recommend him, especially if you're just starting off in the game. I used him literally in the very first stage permanently. In Euro Trials I also used him quite a lot, and I have to admit it, I got quite far. I think I got to Euro Stage 5 before I officially swapped to Death Knight and to the big guy eventually. So yeah, I do recommend him. Late game, not so much, because then you get heroes like my next one, Child of Light. Child of Light is your more magic based tank. Even if you look at his hit points, it's not that much, but it takes a massive jump as soon as you unlock this. Then his life literally almost double. He's also very popular for this thing, the Oporos Ward. Wields a magic barrier to protect the weakest ally, absorbing all incoming damage. Him together with a hero like Rose Knight is deadly. He is very popular, especially for Euro trials and for magic-based teams in the Colosseum. I still get my ass handed to them, and I'm on rank 700 to be honest. So teams with Child of Light is also very, very good. Don't throw at this little guy, he might look weak, but those armor, yeah, that makes him strong. So don't throw away this little guy. I did, unfortunately. The next one, and in my opinion, the best all-round hero, but a very good supportive tank. Rose Knight. She's got one ability that really kicks ass, and that makes her basically one of the strongest heroes in Lord's Mobile, is Prayer. Cast a magic... No, not that. This. Cast a spell protecting on all allies, absorbing all damage taken for 8 seconds. This helps a lot. Even a stun, like I said, she's a support tank. So if you want to use her as a main tank, you have to have a very good healer setup or a high damage team with Black Crow, Tracker, and of course Incinerator. Backed up with heroes like that, and you can't go wrong. The next hero is of course the big guy, mainly because he can absorb a shitload of damage. Look there, reduce damage taken by 16%. And of course the main ability, the Spin Rampage, basically you can target anything in a range and he will hit anything. Best thing about him, if you have a magic based team, you can turn everybody around, literally just to face him, and he will absorb all the damage. Helps a lot. Not so much in the Colosseum. I would not recommend using him in Colosseum, but in Euro Trials and for Monster Hunt he is perfect. Oh, why do I keep tapping on her? And now my best pick all-round tank, the Death Knight. Mainly for the reason he resurrects, he's impale, and his increase in strength. Yes, the Desolation is also very nice because he pushes everything back. So when heroes get too close, or enemies get too close, you can just push them back, freeze them up for 3 seconds, and you're safe. I used him for a very long time, backed up with just magic heroes. I have a very strong tank team that I use him in as well. Especially in Colosseum, it's with the big guy and Rose Knight. Also Gothrak and the big guy as well. Just 2 supportive tanks basically, and then 2 high damage heroes. Not really putting a healer there because by the time I need a heal, everything's dead in anyway. So those are my picks. Heroes that goes well with each tank. Like I said, this is just from experience. It could vary from player to player. With Gothrak, I've noticed you need a lot of backup with him. Not that much healers, but something like Child of Light and Rose Knight to back him up is a very good idea. So those are just heroes that complement his line of skills. Oathkeeper, it's just heroes like your startup heroes. Like Child of Light, Prima Donna, Incinerator, those kind of heroes. Even Sea Squire. Those are the only heroes that he works well with. Literally, as soon as you get another tank like this big guy, Soul Forger, get him, get rid of your Oathkeeper, forget he existed. Soul Forger is a high damage hero. Even if you look at his stats, he doesn't have that much hit points, but he hits like a motherfucker. His critical is also very high, so he will hurt a lot. If you want to use heroes with him, I would recommend Rose Knight, even Child of Light. But the best teams I've seen with him is teams like Demon Slayer, Scatterbolt, and even Shade. Shade, for example, the Shade Demon Slayer combo with Soul Forger is deadly. Rose Knight, like I said, she's mostly a support tank, so basically backup. She works well with heroes like Death Knight and with the big guy, but she also works perfectly with heroes like Tracker, Trickster, Incinerator, Petite Devil. I've even seen deadly teams with Dark Follow in them. Sea Squire. If you look at the lineup that VNNSC3 is using, and some of the other guys like in K1, who's the top guy now? I just want to see. He's got a very good setup that I can show you guys. I hope I can. Yeah, Shui Duwap. Wrong button again. There it is. This setup he is using is literally deadly. And like I said, Rose Knight support hero, you can't do anything wrong, honestly. The next hero I have in line, again, teams with the big guy is you can use high magic players with him. Best is you have a healer or two with him because he tends to take a lot of damage, especially in the early game. So you have passive healers like Sea Squire, Dark Follower, or Rose Knights. Throw them in, he's going to need that healing in the first 5 seconds of the game. Death Knight is just all round. He can stand alone as a tank. You can back him up with Rose Knight or with the Barbarian. He still stands out. He doesn't really need the backup because he takes care of everybody in the front line while the rest of the team does what they do. Backed up with heroes like Dark Follow, Rose Knight, Black Crow, Trickster, Tracker. You can't go wrong. So those are my tips for the tanks. Keep them in mind. And if you have any questions, you know where the comment section is. Leave your comments. If you like my videos, subscribe. And yeah, see you guys next time. Bye.